You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Welcome to the Board Game Snob. That was a pregnant Board Game Snobs podcast. We're podcasting from our new location. We are. This is Jerry.
This is a new location.
This is our new location. I wonder if the audience, if we sound different.
The Baker home.
That's right. This is my crib.
I've been here now 2 weekends in a row.
I don't know. You've come. Yes. When will you leave?
I've been fed pork chops. I may never leave.
I know. My wife does.
They were quite good, too.
They're adequate.
They were sufficient.
My wife does pork chops a lot.
Asparagus as well. They were quite good as well.
That's like weed. I think asparagus is a thing that doesn't exist. It's like genetically, it's like not a thing, isn't it?
Asparagus is not a thing?
It's something that's not natural.
Explain.
I remember reading that somewhere.
I ate it with my own teeth.
Doesn't mean it's natural.
So asparagus doesn't grow in the wild, is what you're saying.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong.
I don't quote you.
Not
ever.
Certainly about this asparagus. I'm trying to look it up here. Asparagus.
Yeah. Go to your phone that you're always on.
Please. For a while, I never touch this. It's a perennial flower plant. Its young shoots are used as a spring vegetable. I can't remember what it was. The thing that's it was broccoli. Broccoli's not real. Broccoli's in your mind.
I've eaten broccoli with my teeth. It has to be real.
Broccoli is not real. That's what it was.
It is real. I've eaten it.
Broccoli is not real.
Are you saying it's genetically modified? It's genetically modified cauliflower.
Broccoli.
Look that one up on your phone as well.
Is not real. Well, you could do something.
Broccoli is not real. Oh, I can do something? Sure.
Oh, get your phone out. Yeah, please. Yeah, finally, you start doing something. This is Jerry, by the way. Gaby's here being useless again at my own home. Brings you a little setup.
Did you know?
Oh, my.
Did you know?
Okay.
When Woody Harrelson first rose to fame on Cheers in 1985, his father had already made headlines for a much more nefarious reason.
What?
Charles Void Harrelson was given 2 life sentences for the murder of Texas Judge John H. Wood Jr., the first assassination of a U.S. federal judge in the 20th century.
I wasn't paying attention. What are you talking about a judge getting killed?
Woody Harrelson's father was a murderer of a judge.
So?
Charles Harrelson.
Why are you dragging this up? Why are you bringing up Woody's dark past of his family?
Charles Harrelson was an encyclopedia salesman and a hitman for organized crime.
Why are you bringing this up?
Woody Harrelson's
Why
father.
are you bringing this up? Dredging this up?
It's weird history.
No, it's not weird history. That is family
Did you know
business.
That?
No, and I don't want to know it. And you should edit that out because Woody has worked hard.
Well, his dad.
He made up for it. He did an entire season of True Detective. And he made up for it.
His dad killed a Texas judge.
Well, why do you bring... Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, why do you bring that up? Yeah. Why are you doing that? Woody's done so many things. First
Woody
off...
has done many things.
Okay. Excellent bowler. Number 1.
In real life or in the movies?
Doesn't matter. In my heart. Number 2. Played in a television series where literally he was the sexier one than Matthew McConaughey. Pulled it off. True Detective. Number 3, he single-handedly, although he did not succeed, he tried to stop the Planet of the Apes. Didn't work out. Yeah, it was really a sad show. So he did lead the Planet Apes. Yeah.
Was he in Planet of the Apes?
Yeah. The third
first one?
The third one. The one that you cry in. I'm sorry. You cried every
that's
movie.
Right,
yeah.
That's right.
See, you don't have
That's
any.
right.
What, you had to see.
Sorry, my memory has to be jogged.
Cancel your life. Just do it. Here, broccoli did not always exist. Broccoli will not grow in a wild because this vegetable was developed through centuries of careful plant breeding. That's what I mean. Broccoli is not a thing. We bred it into existence. They're like pugs.
It's good.
No, it's not.
Cauliflower is much better.
Same thing. Cauliflower, same thing. Same
Cauliflower
boat.
is not real?
No. Cauliflower, same thing.
Cauliflower didn't exist in nature?
Broccoli is man-made, as is cauliflower. Broccoli is a human invention. It was bred out of wild cabbage plants. It was cultivated to have a specific taste and flavor. See, things that you know.
That's disappointing.
See, it's this thing here. I'm bringing up facts
disappointing.
that affect us all, and you're calling out Woody's life.
I just asked if you knew.
No.
And actually, the fact
you
you
should
brought
have
up,
done it privately.
it doesn't affect my life, actually.
Broccoli?
The fact that it's
I think
genetically
that's pretty
modified.
obvious. Yeah, it does affect your life.
It
That
doesn't.
broccoli is affecting your genetics.
I don't
Yes.
care for broccoli. I'm a cauliflower man.
And cauliflower is man-made too. It's affecting
Name something that is not man-made these days. Everything you eat has been genetically modified.
No, it has not.
Unless you go to Whole Foods and pay double the price.
It says non-GMO and all that
which
stuff.
is what the man wants you to do.
No.
It's all a conspiracy.
To eat non-GMO is conspiracy.
By big organics.
You're a big organic.
That's what they want you to do.
You're a big organic. Have you ever been to Whole Foods?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
Checking out their beer selection.
It's
They got a pretty good beer selection.
nice. It's nice. Let's see. So you ruined Harrelson. Will Woody?
No, not Woody, his dad.
He's probably very emotional about this.
I don't know that he's got any sort of relationship with him.
You don't know. You don't know.
I wonder if there's been like an interview where like they bring up his dad.
There will be now because you outed him. You
And
investlife.com or wherever you're getting that. Fun facts.
He
Did you
just-
know Woody
not so
Harrelson's,
fun facts.
Woody Harrelson's dad killed somebody? Yeah, that's not fun at all.
Like I've never heard of that. Like that shocked me when I read
Why?
that. I'm like,
So
but it seems like that's something like that.
Matthew Broderick killed people. You don't care about that?
Oh, we do actually.
Do you do?
It gets swept under the rug though.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You remember
Hit
Matthew?
somebody with a car, right?
Yeah. He's Inspector Gadget. He was Inspector Gadget and he killed somebody. Ferris Bueller's
That's awful.
Day Off and all that.
We
You got-
shouldn't be making light of any of this.
No, but here you are doing just
I'm not
that.
making light of it. I just brought it up as an interesting fact.
It's not interesting.
It shouldn't be an interesting
It's
fact.
not interesting. It's
It shouldn't be
morbid.
like, oh, hey, did you know
You
Woody
should-
Harrelson's dad was a murderer?
I think you.
All
really,
right, moving on.
All right, we need to start specifying. Here's what our fans can do because we have fans, not our listeners, just our fans. Send us an email and let us know what type of fun facts you would like from Gaby. Give us like categories. Like, should they be morbid? Should they be dark and gritty? Or should they be lighthearted and funny? Should they be educational, pointless? What do you want from us? Who are you people? Oh, and thanks to all of our Patreon people. We use some of that money. You got your ticket. You're going to BGG.
Thank you.
After I've already announced
Patreons.
that you're not going, and I made arrangements with other people being Chad. Now you're going.
Well, it's fine. You can learn John Company without me.
I will.
You will.
I
'Cause
will.
There's no spot
There's
for
no
me.
spot for you. And I would no. Even if there was a spot for you,
I'll be in the room.
I would not want Chad to have to teach you John Company.
Well, you're going to have to teach me John Company.
I know. I don't want Chad
Because
to
you
have
it.
I have it. I don't want you in mixed company learning about John's company. because
Why?
I don't think you'd understand it. You
Here
don't
we go.
learn
Here we
well
go.
unless
Here we
you
go.
are taught from somebody patient.
No, certainly that's you.
That's me.
No, it is not.
Yes.
No, it is
I've
not.
taught you everything you know.
You've taught
From
me
board
quite a few
game.
games.
I've made you. And here you are. And I just don't want Chad to have to deal with that.
Well,
And me and Chad had plans. I had to cancel plans that you're coming. We were going to go out to eat.
why do you have to cancel
Because
that?
it's just going to be me and Chad.
What about Enrique? He was with you.
No, Enrique doesn't eat.
Well,
So
then I'll just stay with Enrique.
you and Enrique,
You
me
go
and
on
Chad,
with Chad.
we're going to go. We're going to have a night out in town. Boys'
Do it.
night out. Me and
Uh-huh.
Chad and
You do
Jerry.
it.
Might just shoot a podcast. Me and Chad, we're going to do a little podcast together.
I'm sure you were.
We'll see. Have some Chad's fun facts. Yeah. But yeah.
Here's a fun fact for you from Louisiana.
What would you do if I did?
This here chair, song.
Shut up. podcast before you showed up with Chad. Chad just the whole time. Listen here, Governor. I just did that the entire
Listen
podcast.
here. Do you know where shrimp come from? Come from the ocean.
They ain't man-made. They come from the ocean.
What is something like Super Louisiana?
Super Louisiana?
Yeah.
Besides hurricanes and alligators?
Cajun food?
Cajun food? I really don't know. I've only been there one
what's
time.
Louisiana's thing?
Every time I went there, it's for disaster.
Crawfish.
No, crawfish, crawdads.
Crawfish,
They're all the same.
crawdads, mud bugs,
They're all the same.
thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We like to eat mud bugs here.
Don't call them that, though.
This here mud bug. Good eating.
That's not
Suck on the head.
suck on the head.
It's good.
All right. So, anyways, there's that. And so you're going to BGG.
BGG Spring, I'll be there.
That's May.
And by the time this comes out, it's
Memorial
going to be just
weekend.
a week or so before.
Memorial Weekend. I'll be excited.
Mhm.
Also, if you have any games that you want us to play that might be there, email us. Or if you're going to be there and you'd like to see
What do you
Gaby,
mean by that?
like games they want us to play and check
So
out.
like what? Like, hey, we haven't played Agricola. Why don't y'all guys play Agricola for us?
Yeah,
And tell us what you think.
something like that. We
Really?
might consider it.
Like a new game?
Yeah.
Old game?
Old game, used game,
Okay.
whatever game. We down.
Because you've said that in like every podcast
And we
up
do
to
it.
this point.
And we do it all the time.
Okay, just want to make sure
We
you
tried
know
out
what you're getting
something
into.
else. Who was it that said Radlands was good?
Lots of people.
And you told me it sucked.
I did not.
And
I don't know what you're
then
talking
you
about
now
when you
come
said
to
that.
my home and you brought it, and I said, "You told me this sucked," and you said, "No, I have never played it."
I've never played
And
it.
you pointed. I know because it sat on your shelf forever. You pointed at it and you said, "Hey, this sucks." And so I'm like,
did not
"Oh,
say that.
yes, you did. I remember you saying
did
that."
not.
And it's a little box, and I wonder.
Radlands
It
by
looks like the
Roxley?
size of a candy bar, and it's Daniel Pychik.
Daniel, who?
Pychik.
His name is not on
It
the
is on the
box.
box. You just can't see. Put your glasses on. It's under. It's. Why are you turning the box every which way? It's on the
Where's my
front of the box.
glasses?
It's literally on the front of the
Hold
box.
on, let me put my glasses.
It's like a Polish name.
Oh, there it is. Daniel Pychnik.
I don't know if that's
P-I is pie and then C-H-N-I-C-K. So it's like pie, Nick.
Chechenian.
Piechnik.
Piechnik.
Daniel Piechnik. Welcome to the Radlands. I'm Daniel Piechnik.
No, that's not good. That's not how he sounds.
You don't, maybe.
He may sound like that. I will say this: I
These lands are
I like the box very
That's
much.
the punk. That's the punk of the game.
I like the artwork very much.
Well, Roxley usually does pretty good with their stuff.
Roxley, brass. People who does brass,
Yep.
which is the number one game, and I said that was going to be the number one game in a prophecy many years ago.
In a prophecy years ago.
Spoken. I'm like Morpheus,
I have spoken.
like the Morpheus of board game podcasts.
Okay, so anyway, as we get into Radlands, Roxley, because Jerry just is like tiptoeing all around it, we played this game. It's a card game. It's a battle game. It's a 2-player only game. We set this game up. Jerry's reading through the rule book. The rule book isn't the greatest rule book. Jerry,
It's more like a pamphlet.
Jerry immediately says, I don't care for this.
Well, yes, I did say that.
And
I can't
then,
backtrack that.
and then
Then I really
we
liked
continue setting it up. And I said, well, I just kind of would like to just play around because I had not played it enough. Like he was setting it up and we were learning the rules. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I want to at
I
least
still
know
don't know what you're doing here.
I want to know the moves and stuff, like how to play the game. We watched Rodney, right?
Yeah,
We watched
it was
Rodney.
Rodney. Yeah.
And
He-
Rodney opened your eyes.
No, he didn't. He explained everything, but I
Right.
already knew it. But it was through the playing of the game
Okay.
that finally it kind of clicked.
But there were a few things Rodney mentioned that you said weren't very clearly notated in the rule book.
There were some, but I think it really boils down to this game. I've been burned by so many of these games, and so this game is a competitive dueling card game.
Oh my God. Now that you say that, that's that,
Dueling.
that one that Garfield made that sucks that we played.
Garfield play the cat. Oh, Garfield Games. Yes, who made what game was that?
No, not Garfield Games. The guy that made Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
Remember he made that game where you're just dueling against each other and you come out with these sets and you just
Yeah. I know
You
what you're
just
talking about.
fight against each
It was
other.
a living card game. Yeah.
Yes, it sucked.
And that one guy did a podcast that was nothing but that.
That's his whole thing, was like just this one game. Oh my God.
Okay, you didn't like that.
No, it was awful. So far, and that's what I was saying. So far, we have purchased several of these card battlers. This is my deck of cards.
What was that? The ones with all the heroes. One was a samurai, and one was a cowboy. The different sets. You bought it, and I didn't like it. You rolled dice and did all that. Not Hero Wars, whatever that was. We sold it.
I don't know.
You don't even remember it because you buy stuff you don't even remember. You didn't even play it. Like I played it here and didn't even like it. And like took it back to you and said, "Yeah, this is not any good. You should not."
Like something Archon.
I don't know.
Oh my God!
It doesn't matter. There's no need. There's no need to look it up because our listeners have no doubt remember it from the various podcasts that we've done that we don't even remember what we podcast about. Radlands is a competitive dueling game about identifying and exploiting fiercely powerful card synergies. It says use people and event cards to protect your last 3 remaining camps from a vicious rival tribe in an inappropriately colorful and tightly designed post-apocalyptic
Keyforge.
tooth and nail fight to the bitter end. Yeah, Keyforge.
Keyforge
Didn't
is
like it.
awful.
So in Radlands, what you're doing is you have your little camps, which are dealt out to you. You choose 3 of them. They're cards, and they each have a little special power. And those 3 cards are spread out in front of you. And you kind of imagine, kind of like how if Enrique was here, he would say it's like a MOBA where you have like this rows, like these columns. So you can put 2 cards out in front of each base. And those cards are your people. So you have 2 people that you play from your hand of cards that are going to defend your base. And these people have various powers and certain things. The cards are all multi-use. Some of them you can trash and you can do stuff with them. Some of them you can play for an event. Those events tick down and end up attacking the other players. And you're essentially trying to battle and fight and blow up the other player's base. This is something that has been tried many times by various other games that I've played, and I did not like it. I did not like it. I don't like that. What's the term I'm looking for when something is spatially, like your cards are here, my cards are here, they have to line up and they have to move down this way. What's that called? Oh, I'm blanking on it. It's like a
Nope, you're looking at the wrong guy.
I know you don't know words, but essentially you're imagining this is a column and my guys are marching towards your battle area, basically without a board.
Mm-hmm.
That whatever that is. There's just several games like that we've played, especially dueling games, such as that crazy cowboy and samurai game that has the various characters that you can buy and fight with. I can't remember what it was. It seemed like Hero Wars or something like that. It was very nicely done. You had it. You bought it. The dice game. Big box. Really nice inserts. I don't think you ever opened it. You never played it.
Wasteland Express?
No, that's not a dueling game. You just sold it. You bought them. They had type in cowboy versus samurai, and there you go.
Oh, Dice Throne.
Yes.
Dice Throne.
How did they? Yes, that's exactly it. Who would have come up with that name?
A Dice Throne.
Awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it.
I did not care for that
Absolutely
game at
hated
all.
it. So we were coming from this, from the standpoint of like these dueling games we don't like. And man, I really like this game.
I know you did, and it cracks me up because like Jerry is always quick to cast judgment.
I'd cast that judgment fast.
You're always quick to cast
but
judgment.
But yet, I change my mind.
On this game you did.
All the
because
time.
We
because
started
I'm
off
open-minded, which is a sign of humility.
That is
and I changed my mind quickly.
Humongous false. So this game, Jerry, like we set up, we're having a tough time getting through the rule book. It's frustrating. You.
Thank you.
Therefore, because I'm listening to you.
Thank you.
Can I not say that?
No.
Is that not a we?
It implies that you're helping reading the rule book and you weren't. Because you don't know how to weed. You don't do the rule books. You had to watch Rodney.
And he helped.
It's just because, listen, just say it. You just like Rodney. It doesn't matter.
Of course I do.
No.
I would much rather watch a video.
Rodney. You'd rather just watch Rodney.
I'd watch Rodney.
And I don't want to watch Rodney.
I would watch Rodney read the dictionary.
I don't like Rodney. I don't.
You're an idiot.
I'm jealous.
You're not. There we go.
I'm jealous of Rodney.
There
I
you
will
go.
say that right
His
now.
hair is better than yours. It's gorgeous. It's black.
It's just because it's black.
It's black as the midnight
That doesn't
Moon.
mean it's better than mine. I'm just saying, I just don't.
And it's thicker and lusher too.
It's just
And he's still thin.
I'm thin.
And he wears a nice flannel shirt.
He wears shirts, flannelish.
Your t-shirt is not your most flattering pose.
I'm at home. I don't have to dress up.
You're very pale against that white t-shirt. Just saying.
I don't get out a lot. I take vitamin D.
Your arm is kind of merging.
That's my
once your
farmer's
farmer's
tan.
tan
That's my
disappears,
farmer's tan.
it's like I don't know where your body begins and the shirt ends.
Well, would you come to my house and body shame me? I'm just saying.
That's what you do to me every time
I don't body shame you. What if I ever body shamed you? Anyways, so there's that. I'll say, okay, I cast judgment on this game very harshly and just wasn't thrilled by it at all because it's not that many cards. It doesn't seem like there's that many things to do, and I was shocked by how much I enjoyed this game. Not since Star Realms have I liked a game this much in terms of it being a 2-player fighting game.
A 2-player card-laying fighting game. It's very nice. And the cards are very nice. They got that little finish on them.
It has that Roxley finishes stuff.
They finish stuff very nicely.
Finish them. That's just the Roxley guy in the background just walking by the artist. Finish them. But the cards finish them.
His name's Raiden.
That's a deep dive. But yeah, this is really good. I am shocked by how much I like this.
I was shocked about how much you liked it too, especially after you harshly condemned it.
I did. I condemned it
out of frustration.
Harshly.
But then you were like, once we played it, you're like, okay.
I gave it another chance.
Because
I'm patient.
You're right. I like it. Thanks to your patience, Gaby, and making me play this again. I did do it. I most certainly did. I said, you were like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
Never made
and I said,
me
I want to finish this
anything.
game.
I did it for you. Because I wanted to humor you. And I did. And in doing so, I changed my mind.
Okay.
So anyway, so you like this game?
I like it very much so.
Enrique would love this game.
Oh, he would absolutely love it. It's a card-laying game with writing on it.
Yeah. And he also bought the he never buys games. Everybody thinks Enrique is so great, but Enrique doesn't buy board games. He's never contributed to this podcast in any way ever. Besides his facsimile, his face, and his likeness, we've used in advertising, and his name, his voice, we've used that, I guess, in ways to profit, but in other ways, never. He doesn't do anything. He's practically useless.
I think he's a great contributor to this podcast.
No, you don't. You say that all the time. You say he's useless.
No, I never said those words.
You say all the time.
And he's a superior bowler to you as well.
No, he is not.
There's video to show it.
No, there's not.
There was. I posted it.
That video proved nothing.
Raves reviews for
what was
Enrique's
the score?
form.
What was the score?
Final score doesn't matter. We're talking about one frame.
One frame. One frame. Yeah, okay, yeah.
We're going on a frame-by-frame basis.
Oh, yeah. Well, the frames add up to a score. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
Just ignore that.
But anyways, so yeah, he bought the Star Wars deck builder game, the new one, but which is basically a reskin of Star Realms. So,
which is a very nice idea.
That's a very nice idea. Good job, Fantasy Flight, for retheming another game and making billions off of it.
Hey, this is our idea now.
That's a nice game you got there.
It's mine now.
Real be sad if somebody rethemed it to Star Wars. Everything's Mandalorian.
Hey, Roxley, that Radlands looks really cool. What if that was Darth Vader lands?
Darth Vader lands.
What if that was Tatooine?
Everything. Yeah, that would be weird. They have the money to do that. Just go reskin everything.
Well, Tickets to Ride. Looks really good over there, Days of Wonder. What if that was Coruscant Ride?
They could do that, though. Like, you cannot.
Just take everything.
Mechanics are not copyright. You can just do it.
Let's see, what's another game that Fantasy Flight could retheme? Super popular.
They rethemed to Star Trek? Well, just anything.
Star Wars.
Or Star Wars. Yeah, Star Trek needs to happen. Somebody needs to make a decent Star Trek game.
I really, really someday want to play
Ascendancy.
I
do too. But it's very long, and that would require somebody to teach me.
That's true. Well, maybe Chad's played that and he can teach you.
He probably has. He's a man of great taste. Plus, I taught him barrage, so tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
That's what the Louisianans do. They do that tit for tat.
This is a tit for tat.
So Radlands, we're on the bandwagon with Radlands. I like it.
I want to buy the deluxe set with the player mats and the fancy water coins.
Do that. Do it all. Talk about hard. Now, there is one rule in this game we may have gotten wrong, but that whole who's first player, flip a coin.
It was rigged.
Which then caused me to produce a coin because Gaby didn't want to flip the coins that were provided. So
because they were weighted to one side.
So you got my gold coin from my collection, and I said, use this. And
Jerry has a gold $20 coin.
Right, that I had minted.
You had it minted?
Yes, from my my various uncles who have died had their gold teeth pulled out and had that minted. So that is the Jerry Baker Challenge $20 coin. And I had you flip it. How many times do you estimate that you flipped that and I won
10.
Consecutively?
10 out of 10.
Consecutively. Every time.
100%. 10 out of 10.
What's the chances of that?
Like
you flipped it. I didn't flip it.
No.
I never touched
I flipped it. And every time I wanted to go first, Jerry went first. Every time I wanted to go second, Jerry went second. Like no matter what it was.
Time.
The odds of, I don't know what the odds are of that. They're astronomical.
They're
at least 10 times I flipped that coin and it went Jerry.
You got to believe in yourself.
We also played a game that me and Sade discussed, Beer and Bread by Capstone Games. I've forgot the actual designers of the game. Bread and Beer? Is it Beer and Bread or Bread and Bread?
It's Beer and Bread.
Beer and Bread. A very nice resource management game, card laying game.
Another 2-player game.
Another exclusively 2-player game.
No friends.
Jerry, what were your thoughts?
I enjoyed that one as well. It has a very Agricola. No, not Agricola. What's the? Well, what I say was Stone Age type art.
Stone Age art,
like kind of muted, where all you're doing is the same thing as in Radlands, where it's like multi-use cards. The cards have resources on them that you can put the card down and get said resources, or it has a little in-game scoring type bonus thing at the bottom that you can play the card for and use it to score at the end or give your production some sort of boost. Or you use the card to make the either beer or bread item that's on it. And you have to have the resources in your storehouse to make that item. That's all you do. Where this game gets very Reiner Knizia-like, and I say that because it does this neat little thing where the mechanisms are all very samey, but they put a little twist on something. So the number one thing that Gaby hated about it was the scoring, which I think the scoring actually elevates the game. The scoring in it is, at the end, you see how many points you got from making bread, how many points you got from making beer, and you score the lowest of those two. So obviously you have to be able to make and keep a balance. You don't just want to focus on one thing. And when you're still using these cards out of your hand, the first round, you then use one card, hand your cards to your opponent. So you're going back and forth. So it's kind of like the Seven Wonders type thing where you're picking a card, handing it to somebody else. In a 2-player game, though, there's a little more strategy of that because you know these cards, and some of them you want to keep. So if you lay them down for the resources, they've been played, you get to pick them up on that second round. And now in that second round, you're not drafting the cards. You're not handing them back and forth. I thought that was very neat. So you're kind of building your hand a little bit. Those two twists, to me, make this game wonderful. This is a very fun 2-player game. I'm shocked by how much I liked it. I think Radlands has a little bit more replayability, but in terms of theme, dry Euro, it's not fighty.
No. This game, the balancing in this game that they did, the first round we draft cards, and also the fact that the scoring is the lowest score between the beer and the bread forces you to balance those scoring things. They make you balance this game very well. The thing that me and Sade said we enjoy very much about this game is what you said is it's very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
You're just sitting there in a country long time ago.
I didn't like it. I don't like peace.
Drinking beer and eating bread.
Everybody's dying. That's carbs. You're just carbs.
You're carb loading. Getting ready for the marathon.
How did they not
day.
Die? Thought carbs were supposed to be bad for you, but apparently that's all people lived on.
But
forever.
Beer and bread.
Gluten.
In the Roman Colosseum, they threw bread at the masses for them to eat.
People are gluten.
That's big keto. They want you to believe that you can't live
there's
off
people all
beer
the time
and bread alone.
saying, "Oh my God,
gluten,
my gluten's high.
My glutes are hurting.
My glutes are yeah.
Oh, I squatted too many pounds and my glutes
but
are hurting."
People say that. So why is that? Like, what happened to us?
And in this corner, Gluteus Maximus champion of gluten. All carbs all day.
It's just a really, really thick Brazilian guy. He just comes in there in a Brazilian gladiator. Got them big glutes.
Did you know there was a day that Russia completely ran out of vodka? What day? If you in history, recent history, somewhat
recent history, like this century.
No,
last century. Okay,
Russia ran out of vodka. On what day do you think that would be?
The day that they won World War II. V-Day. V-Day, which would have been 1945.
Very good, sir.
Sometime in there.
Your days of it as a historian aficionado are paying off.
They are.
When many Russians celebrate, they tend to do so with a vengeance. With a vengeance. Vengeance, as Chekhov would say. We celebrate with a vengeance.
How do you celebrate with vengeance? Vengeance is not. Who are you fighting against? How can you celebrate?
Potatoes, I guess, because they're making all vodka.
Darn you, carbs.
Not that anyone could blame them after all that they had been through by the time May 9th, 1945.
Cinco de Mayo.
Rolls, there's carbs, rolled around.
How many carbs jokes you got to make?
During WW2, many German atrocities were carried out in Russia, leaving the country's people overcome with grief after spending years being physically and mentally beaten down.
Okay.
Literally starved by war and dictatorship. Taters. That's where they
vengeance. Take that, dictator. We're
gonna make vodka out of that dictator.
I'll show him.
And on top of it all, many were completely terrified of what may come next. Then it happened. Deep within the grips of war, depression, and hopelessness, Hitler's Germany finally surrendered, and the world rejoiced, especially Russia. The Russians celebrated the end of WW2 so successfully. Like, how do you celebrate so successfully?
Have you ever celebrated unsuccessfully?
I've celebrated successfully, I guess. I mean, if you're celebrating, you're successful already.
Sorta.
How do you fail at celebrating? They celebrated unsuccessfully. Like, why do you do that?
You went to a party that just kind of was like, yeah. yeah. It's like, this.
Like, you get married at the ceremony, and then you go to your reception, and you're like, this kind of sucks.
Okay, yeah, it's like, this was not, how did we celebrate? You know?
We're just eating French fries and onion pies or something.
Fruit salad.
This is an unsuccessful
Where are
celebration.
the taters?
Where are the taters? The Russians celebrated the end of World War II so successfully that they somehow managed to completely run out of vodka.
So where are you getting these facts? So you brought up Woody Harrelson's dad killing people and World War II.
Ranker.com.
Please get off this side.
The countrywide party quickly turned into a nationwide hangover, followed by the sad realization that they were completely tapped out of the very product that their national budget relied upon. In a few parts of the world, it was simply May 9, 1945. For most, it will forever be known as the Day of Victory. For others, it was the day that Russia threw a huge party and ran out of vodka.
This made more.
Or as Russians say, vodka.
They just made more, didn't they?
Like, I'm sure, how long does it take to make vodka? It's got to distill. I'm sure they had some sitting around waiting to get distilled.
Yeah, it couldn't be that hard.
I think Raker was maybe kind of reaching for that
yeah,
one.
That's not really big history.
But I'm like, how do you run out of vodka?
You drink it all.
Okay, so they drank it all.
You need to make more.
But there was more.
But you have to make more.
They just made more.
So you're saying, can you run out of, listen, how do you run out of gas?
The car doesn't run anymore.
Okay, so you run out of vodka. There's no more gas. There's no more vodka.
So the country's didn't receive any income for their vodka.
Yeah, because they had none to sell.
That would be it, I guess.
Yeah, they're out.
But how long did that last is my question.
It's been a couple days, 2 or 3 days.
See, Ranker doesn't mention that.
Well, it doesn't matter, though.
If it was one day, that's not a big loss.
Boy, I tell you what. So that's their GDP is messed up. They have no vodka to sell. It would take years for them to recover from that, to make enough to bring it back up to production.
But it doesn't say. I don't know what they did.
I don't know
how long they were out.
It doesn't matter how long that they're out. They're out for one day. That is enough. All right. If you produce 10 billion bottles of vodka a day.
Okay.
your people drink 1 billion bottles, and you sell the other 9 billion.
Okay.
You win a war, you celebrate. You drink all 10 billion bottles of vodka.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, you have none to sell. That's an expensive and devastating financial loss that you do not recover from, which is why...
Maybe that was the beginning of the end
That's exactly, yeah. May 9th, 1945.
What was their dictator's name?
Hitler?
No,
The one that they beat?
The Russian one.
Oh, that was...
Stalin.
And...
That's how he got his name. They're like, we need more. We need more vodka.
like,
Hey, Joseph, keep him. Just Stalin. Just keep him Stalin.
that's not what happened.
And he's like, oh, we got some Coors Light over here, guys.
That's not what happened. And why did he sound like he's all... What do you think this is? Your voices aren't
You
any
gotta
good.
stall him, Joseph.
That's not...
We got some whiskey over here, guys.
That Lenin is Lenin.
Linen. They were selling sheets. Linen sheets. He missed out on that.
They did too. He did. He got... Oh, you died.
Everybody should share with these linen sheets.
Made from real silk.
Made from the silk of many worms. Here we are selling these linen sheets.
Quit styling and come on.
Quit styling and buy these linen sheets now. We're out of vodka. We need linen sheets everywhere. More potatoes. It seems like there would have been a potato famine in Russia if they ran out of vodka, that they would need more vodka.
Vodka, even today, is so unregulated, nobody really knows what it is.
That's so weird.
Like how it's made. Like there is potato vodka, which is traditionally, but like,
Right.
all right, so for instance, like, bourbon, whiskey, and all that, there are regulations that say for this to be called bourbon or whatever, it has to have this percentage of whatever. That's not true with vodka even to this day. They can make vodka out of... You can literally make vodka out of anything and say this is vodka.
Huh.
And then it's vodka.
That's kind of concerning.
It is concerning, which is why I don't like vodka.
I don't... it doesn't have flavor to me.
It's a nebulous thing.
Like, I would like to know what is the national vodka drink of Russia.
What's
like in
the thing they do?
Russia.
Yeah, so like when I was in Poland, that's what I asked. It's like, what's the beer? What is the beer? Like, what do you drink? And they're like, everybody just drinks, like, this is this Tysky.
Tysky.
Huh. And it was literally a beer.
Never heard of it.
That I know, because it's their beer, because they don't send it over here. It's just, this is our beer. This is Tysky. And it had like their seal of like their flag or something on it. It's like, it was literally like their Budweiser, which I don't like Budweiser. I'm saying, but in terms of like the popularity, it was just this
national beer.
It was the beer and everybody else had a beer that they also drank, but the Tysky was like going to Mexico, and if you're in a tourist area, it's like, oh, Corona. And it's like, oh, Corona's
but see,
awful.
but that's something, because like Guinness, I've heard Guinness.
Yeah, that's another good example.
Is that Ireland?
Irish?
I think it's Irish. Yeah. Guinness in Ireland tastes nothing like the Guinness we have here.
I'm sure it doesn't.
That's what I hear.
I'm sure it doesn't.
So, I would like to know, what is the Russian vodka of the nation? Like, what is their go-to? And is it sold over here? And if so, is it the same as they have over there?
That's what we need from all of our listeners from indigenous, from areas for which we are not from. Tell us, what is your nation's drink that we are unaware of? For instance, I drink a lot of tea, and I remember asking somebody, like, what is the tea over there in England?
Wasn't there like, oh, did you hear about this?
Yeah. It's like, what is it? Like, I don't know. What tea do you
get
drink?
That phrase?
I didn't get that phrase.
Oh, you're not up on
what?
In modern language for the Gen Zers. When you're asking for tea, you're asking for gossip. Like, what's the tea?
I've never.
Spill the tea.
That's
a thing. Spill the tea. Like, oh, did you hear about so and so? So when you're asking what's the tea,
spill the tea. What if you don't have it?
It's like spill the gossip.
What if you have low tea? You have low tea.
If you got low tea, then you've got no tea. There's no gossip going on.
But what tea do people drink in England? What brand? I need to know. I drink Lapsing here, but I need to know the brand. Same thing. Wherever you're from Australia, like, okay, for instance, we all thought over here for a while in America that we thought Foster's was Australian for beer, and apparently they don't even drink Foster's over there.
What? What?
Remember Foster's?
Yeah.
Australian for beer. And they had the it was
Australian for beer.
great commercial because the dude would walk up and he headbutted the door and it'd fall off his hinges as a locksmith. And it's like Australian, and they just as a joke. Yeah. Then apparently that wasn't. Someone from Australia told me once, like, no, we don't drink that.
We don't drink Foster's.
We don't drink Foster's.
We in America do drink Budweiser. And Coors
I haven't drank Budweiser in a long time.
You have Coors in your fridge, though.
I bought that
Coors
over
Banquet.
this weekend because people were coming over that were of
mass-produced beer.
Yes, I needed a mass-produced cheap beer that I could get from a gas station in a hurry. And
Coors Banquet is a pretty good
because everybody right now they're watching Cobra Kai or whatever, and so it's back in the vogue.
There you go. It does.
I don't like Coors, but I'll drink it. It's like water.
That's good.
It's water, and it's fine.
It's like when you need a nice, refreshing beer and you've been mowing the yard.
Yes, it's exactly.
It's a good one.
It's not heavy.
It's not.
It's low carb.
I don't know about that.
I didn't get to light.
You didn't get the light.
I don't do light. So yes, email us, boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. What is your area's national drink?
Yes, do that. Also, for the third and final game of this discussion,
Viña
by De Vere Games.
Yeah.
A winemaking game.
I don't think anybody's heard of this game.
I have not heard of it until I came over here and you said, hey, I got this with a batch of games De Vere sent me that we had discussed some time ago. We discussed Silk.
My kids really like that game.
Silk was a very nice game. We also got that game with the lights in France. I didn't care for that one.
Perret de Luminaire.
Yeah,
or
something like that. I didn't care for that one.
Illuminate the city.
It was pretty.
It was
very pretty. Didn't care for it.
But La Viña is like you're just picking grapes. It's like a little bitty track. You lay out some cards on each side of the track, and then you just move your little meeple along, and you're literally just picking the cards like you're picking berries. Grapes. Grapes are berries, right? No, they're not.
Grapes.
They're grapes. And then you take them to the end, and then you fulfill orders kind of like you do in viticulture. And you have to empty your basket, and all the grapes in that basket are then scored. And you're trying to do like a set collection type thing. At the same time, it's very, very light. It's very quick and very light. It was okay. It was very basic. I didn't particularly.
It's very basic.
I really did like. Here's the one thing I will say about De Vere's games. All their games have excellent artwork. All of them have really good components, excellent artwork. Even if it's a game of theirs I don't like, I always appreciate that they have like there are always games that like rarely do I know these particular designers, but yet they're really good with the artwork and the components and the whole 9 yards, which is something they're a South American company if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but De Vere is also the makers of Red Cathedral, which is one of our favorite games.
Michael Strogoff. It's a good game. I like that.
De Vere has a line of solid games.
And I also got another game over here, Barcelona, The Rose of the Fire. It's also a De Vere game. I was learning that today. It looks very good.
We'll have to check that out on a future game day. Are grapes berries? By the formal botanical definition, grapes are considered berries since the firm definition of a berry is a fleshy fruit without a stone that is produced from a single flower containing one ovary.
A fleshy fruit without a stone.
That being said, a berry is not supposed to have a stone, whereas some grapes do have a hard, inedible pit.
Of despair.
So basically they're saying, yeah, grapes are berries, but really they're not berries. That's what they just said.
They're not berries? They're berries technically. They're technically berries.
I guess they're technically berries.
They're almost berries.
Unless they have a pit.
They're dingleberries.
No.
They're
what sort of wine does a dingleberry make?
I don't know. Coors Banquet. I guess. I don't know.
Let's not find out. I enjoyed this game. It's super, like, there's not much to it. You're just putting you're collecting cards. If you get this many Chardonnay cards, like the Chardonnay, to fulfill it, it might require 9 points worth of Chardonnay cards. You just go down the track and collect these Chardonnay cards. If you collect at least 9 points worth, you can then ship a barrel of Chardonnay. You get rid of those cards, then you reset, go down again. Very, very simple. It's not one you would base your game day around.
That's a filler.
But
I think I don't think it works well 2-player. I think you were right when you said earlier that more players, I think that would have more interaction and it'd be a little bit more.
And it's like 45 minutes, like
with 5 players or something like that. I bet it would be.
And I don't know.
I don't think I want to play it for 45 minutes though.
I don't either.
That's really
Did
interesting.
we like this game?
It was okay. Here's the thing.
Upon further review,
this game falls in that category of something that I don't particularly like. I don't think I'd play it again, but I do. When I'm playing it, I'm going. There's an audience out there for it. I just don't particularly like it. It's functional. It works fine. I like the theme, but it's too light for me. It's like Coors Light. It's just too light for me. I need something heavier with a more distinct palate, like Fat Tire or Blood and Honey.
This game was. I mean,
I need a good shiner.
Keep talking, and I'll give you one. See.
I don't know why I said that. Let's see. What is it?
Lavinia,
what's wrong with you?
What?
What is wrong with you? Like you just,
keep talking. You'll find out.
You see the most what happened? Really, what happened? Because Dan used to be like, "Oh, you guys are almost comedians," and you know what happened?
What happened?
You've rested on your laurels.
All my laurels.
And now
I have no bushes.
Yes, and now your humor has degraded. It's just when people are like, "Oh, he's so you were funny once."
Now you're coming
slipping.
at me. You're attacking
You're
me.
slipping. You need to up your material.
I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up.
I remember back in the day,
as DMX once said,
"Well, you were the hottest board game comic." You used to come in and you'd have your notebook out.
Welcome, ladies and meeples.
Yes, and you wrote down
Zoinka,
jokes.
zoinka.
And you come up stuff. You call me, say, Jerry, I got this thing. What about? And it was so wild, inappropriate. I was like, we can't say that. And then during the podcast, I'd say it, and you'd edit it out. It's like, wait. So you used to come up with stuff, and now you're just here. You're just making noise. You're just making sounds. I really like Radlands. If you're looking for a good, solid 2-player fighting game, look at that.
If only y'all could have seen Jerry the first 10 minutes of learning this game.
This box is sexy.
It's very... What's that game? It has lands in it. It's post-apocalyptic.
Wasteland?
No.
51st States?
It's a video game that's super popular. They're making a movie out of it.
Fallout?
Something lands.
Fallout?
No.
They're making a movie of it?
It's like got this same kind of art. Everybody's like punk, like spiky hair and tattoos, and they're shooting each other. And
it's a video game?
So something lands. Gas lands? No,
that's the car game.
Oh my God.
You don't know. Get your phone out there.
How else do you Google without a phone?
Your phone has... You got a pink cover on your phone. I like that. It's hot pink. Is that your wife's phone? Is that your phone? Did you choose that pink cover?
It's fuchsia.
Is it fuchsia? I'm colorblind. What is fuchsia? Is it like a cross between red and purple? Purple's my favorite. That's my favorite color, is purple.
I need you to keep talking while I look this up.
Well, I'm trying to buy you time. That's what I do while you're in here with
10 best dystopian video games. Maybe they'll say in here.
Go down. Help us, Ranker.
Deus Ex, nope.
Deus Ex
Dishonored, nope.
None of those
Wolfenstein,
are.
nope.
None of those are.
These are not working.
No.
God,
what game are you
something
talking?
lands.
No, it's not.
It's something lands.
No, it's not.
And they're all like,
no, it's not.
Punked out, and you go around, you buy stuff, and
Borderlands. Here's the thing. If it wasn't for Enrique, I literally sat here thinking, when you were saying that, I was like, what's that game? Enrique's always talking about something.
It's Borderlands.
It's Borderlands.
Radlands is Borderlands, the card game.
Same artwork, similar.
It's very similar style.
That's apropos. That's apropos.
Yes.
That's a good observation. That's a good observation there, Tater.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode.
How long does this episode go?
A good amount of time.
It's a pretty decent time. This is our first time recording here. Do you think acoustically?
First time in Baker Studios.
Acoustically.
It's much smaller, and I don't hear an echo so much.
This room is actually the same size, if not bigger than yours.
I feel it, but with
the
shelving helps.
It's dark in here. It's dark in here. Everything's black. Shelving. And plus, I got my what do you call them? Figurines everywhere. I collect figurines.
Yeah, you got lots of stuff. And I don't know. The sound feels a little bit tighter in here.
It is tight in here.
All right. Well,
I
this
like
has
it.
been a very pleasant episode of discussing 3 pleasant
You
games.
like my floating
You got a
bookshelf?
floating shelf.
You don't even
with-
see the book.
Let's see. Word Power Made Easy.
That's the Boy Scout
The
handbook.
Boy Scout
I
Handbook.
found that at the Goodwill.
The Peter Principle.
Yes, that's how people rise to incompetence.
Rise to Incompetence.
Yes. You don't know about the
Interesting.
Peter Principle?
No.
Yes, it's very interesting.
Unwritten Laws.
Oh, you missed Slaughterhouse 5.
I couldn't read it from here.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Unwritten Laws is a compository of all the law, like Murphy's Laws. This book is nothing but the
Eddie Murphy?
yes, all the laws. Yes, I must play myself. It's 7 characters in the movie. It's all the laws that you don't realize there are. So it's like just name not legal laws,
Right.
but like physical world laws. Like the law of so and so says that this, and it's very interesting.
Right, I got you. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Gaby.
This is Jerry.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.